this is Anna with the Paint Mixer. Thanks for joining me today. So we are going to be creating a sailing painting today. It's called Sail Away, and it's a really fun painting because you get a lot of blending and a lot of different textures in the ocean and in the sky. So before we started, make sure you have an apron or an old t-shirt on and that your space is all prepped. Things are protected that need protected, like your table, maybe your carpet. And go ahead and prep your palette. So I'll show you my palette. Today I'll be using just our kind of standard colors that we use in the studio. So if you have one of our Creativity to Go kits, we have a little color guide in case you have the deluxe kit. But I'll just be using white, phthalo green, phthalo blue, burnt sienna, deep yellow, and black. So kind of a limited palette today, but we get a lot of different colors when we're blending. So you can see two examples up here. So first step is really easy, and that is to get your larger brush. I'll be using two brushes today, my mama and my baby. So my mama is actually kind of a filbert rounded top brush, and then the baby is just a little detail brush. So first step is finding your larger brush, and we are going to cover our entire canvas with a blend of burnt sienna and white. So I'm not sure what size of canvas you'll be using today, but I have a kind of a larger one just so you can see a little better. So water is definitely our friend for this first step because I don't want too thick of paint. A lot of the fun stuff of this painting is going to come later with blending different layers on top. So go kind of light with your amount of paint. So you can think of it like creating a wash. So a decent amount of water. Just burnt sienna and white, and just big horizontal brush strokes for now. Don't have to think too much about this as we'll be layering on top. This is a nice painting if you've been stuck at home and have dreams of sailing away to a distant land. You can kind of explore those ideas and thoughts as you're painting. Some of my friends just bought a sailboat and have been restoring it. Seems really fun. Seems like a lot of work, but they're going to have a lot of adventures. And this is kind of a funny color to start out as your water and sky. It's not very intuitive, right? Like a light brown for your water and sky. But I think it creates a nice warm base for all of our cool ocean colors to then rest upon. And it's okay to have some variety in your color, like some bits can be a little darker, some bits can be more white. No real right or wrong here. All right, so I have a nice coat of that burnt sienna and white. And we are going to kind of start creating the division between sky and water. So check this out. The sky has like this really awesome deep green, but see how it blends over to that burnt sienna color? So now is a good time to do that blending while your paint is still a little wet. All right, so still keeping my mama brush in hand, and I am just going to take some of this phthalo green and a little phthalo blue together. So mix them together, it's this really deep jade color. And I'm just going to kind of start on one side. For me, it's my right side. And I'm just going to start adding some of this deep color. And you see how I'm picking up my brush, kind of lifting off, so that the brush stroke dissipates into the other side, right? I'm just going one direction to start, because the more you go back and forth, this burnt sienna and green are gonna blend into just one color. You're not gonna have a real kind of division of the two colors. All right, so now I'm going to start going back and forth, and you'll see what happens where I go back and forth. I'm gonna get kind of some mid-tones. So you see how the direction of your brush stroke does a lot. So my brush is just water now. So clean brush, just a little water. And that will really help this between zone have subtle blends between that burnt sienna and green. Pretty fun. Blending is tricky. So remember, kind of lifting your brush off, and then where you want to blend, kind of a nice middle color going back and forth. Now, if you look at your canvas and you're like, oh my God, the whole thing is green, you can always go back with some burnt sienna and white and go the other direction, right? Blending is a two-way street. You can go one way or the other. Also, guys, if you ever just need to slow down and kind of re-watch something, press pause, rewind, take your time. All right, so I think that's a pretty good start for my sky. Maybe a couple more just real bold strokes here on the bottom. Yeah, that's fun. All right, so if you look at the example, you'll see that the sky goes to about 2/3 of the way down, and then our water starts. I really like in this example too how there's a little kind of strip of burnt sienna separating the water and the sky. See how right in here there's that little kind of strip of gold across? So I'm going to kind of keep with that theme, and I'm going to create my horizon line for my water. So this is where the water meets the sky. And we are going to make a really deep blue. So this is going to be phthalo blue and a teeny, tiny bit of black. Small bit of black, mostly phthalo blue. And I'm just going to make a very bold stroke across. Trust yourself. It's a lot harder when you're holding your canvas up. Don't try this at home. Have yours on an easel or laying flat. So that is the top of my water. So now I'm going to do some back and forth strokes of this dark blue, kind of creating some nice shadowy bits. And I like to have a lot of contrast where my sky meets my water. It's like a nice, just bold line. A couple little watery strokes in there. So it's that same technique where you kind of lift your brush off of the canvas. So it's not a hard stop, right? So now I have some nice deep blue. Let's add a little bit of light green in our water as well. So this is going to be white and phthalo blue. It's kind of like a toothpaste color. Oh, sorry, white and phthalo green makes that fun color. And I'm just going to add a couple strokes here along the bottom. And see how light your brush stroke is? Just think about being really gentle and smooth. And all of a sudden, look at how beautiful this oceanscape is. So see how subtle those brush strokes are? Remember, light touch and lifting off as you go across. All right. So at this point, I am going to let this dry a little bit because I want to get to our sailboat before we add too much thickness of paint in the water or the sky. Because you have to wait for it to dry before we can do the sailboat. So now's a good opportunity to get a little cardio, shake it a bit. This really does speed up the drying process. So while you're shaking, I'm just going to do a little demo of the sailboat shape. So you have it fresh in your mind. You can practice too if you want. So we'll be using the baby brush to sketch our sailboat. And we'll be sketching in white when we take to the canvas, but I'll do this in blue so you can see. Okay, so our sailboat is going to start with a diagonal line. This will be the sail. Okay, off of this line, you're gonna make a funny kind of letter D. And then at the bottom, we're gonna make a little boat. So it starts with a little smiley face. Then you have the front, the back, and the bottom. So that's a real simple sailboat. This is an itty bitty one. The one I take it to the canvas is gonna be a bit larger. So rinsing out my baby brush again. This time I am going to pick up some white paint for sketching. And the reason why we do white is it's really easy to cover up. All right, so almost dry. We'll give it a few more shakes. You know, there's not too many natural lakes around where I live. Most of the places you can sail are reservoirs, but you know, there's a lot of people that sail around here in Utah where I am. Awesome. Okay, I think I'm ready to kind of sketch my sailboat. So again, baby brush, white paint, and start thin, start small. You can always make your sailboat bigger, hard to shrink it. So again, starting out with a diagonal line. I think my sailboat's going to be over on this right side. So a nice diagonal line. Then I'm going to make a funny letter D, kind of goes out and then down. Now at the bottom of my sail shape, I'm going to make a little smiley face arc. Then on the front of my boat, back of my boat, and then connect them. Now if you are like really into boats and have some like real specific things you want to put on a sailboat, I don't really know much about boats, so I keep it pretty simple. But at this point, we can start to fill it in. So once you are digging the shape of your sailboat, you're gonna find that mama brush again and fill in the sail. So this sail is going to be mostly white, a little bit of yellow, and just kind of big sweeping strokes. Now the white is really important in here because it blocks out the darker colors behind it. I might start with mostly white and then I can add in some of those deeper colors. Awesome. So at this point, I might add, a little blue. Why not? I think it's just fun to add some depth. Ooh, look at that. That's a fun stroke. Nice bold stroke in there. It gives your sail a lot of depth by just adding a little bit of a shadow in there. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so our sail is looking good. Nice smooth brush strokes. And then we're going to fill in our boat. So depending on the size of your boat and how comfortable you are with the big or small brush, up to you which size. So I'm going to do the baby brush. And I'm going to be using, let's see, where do I want my boat color to be? I think I'll stick with the example and do dark blue and a little bit of black. I'm going to make it darker than my water. And maybe a little white in there. It really is your boat, so you can make it any color you like. It could be red. It could be burnt sienna, look like a wooden boat. But notice how the brush strokes are following the shape of the boat. That goes a long way to create a little bit of depth and 3D qualities. So I even put a little center of the boat. See how the middle is kind of empty? So I'm going to do a little more black in the center of the boat so it looks like it goes inward. Just being real careful to go around my sail. Don't want to go over my sail. Check it out. You have an inside and an outside. And any details you want to add, like you could put a name on your boat. Like I might just do like a little Circle at the top of the sail there. I wish I knew more terminology for sailing. I really don't know any. Yeah, do little details anywhere you want. You could outline, but it's kind of a simplified sailboat. So if you want to Google pictures of actual sailboats, I'm sure there's a lot of bells and whistles you could put on here, some ropes, and yeah, I don't really know. But I'm going to keep mine at this level for now and add a cloud. So a couple things about clouds. One, they're all different. So you can let yourself off the hook trying to make a perfect cloud, but I think this cloud is going to start out with a light blue, so that's white and phthalo blue, and I'll just kind of make some puffers and flat on the bottom. I think that is like a nice standard cloud to have a puffy top and flat on the bottom. Now just be careful you don't hit your sailboat. I might do a couple more clouds. I think it's nice to have them on this left side since we have so much going on the right side with our sailboat. It's fun to have some light fluffy clouds here on the left. So I started out with that dark blue, not dark blue, a kind of creamy light blue, so that now when I go in with pure white, look how 3D and awesome my cloud looks just by having that blue base. So coming in, making some highlights on the top. And when you start to look at clouds now, as a painter, you'll notice like they are many colors and they're 3D objects. You know, they have shadows and highlights. But yeah, remember to step back from your painting, see it from a distance, see if there's any place you want to add some more clouds, like maybe on the bottom. All right. You're kind of in the final stretch here, just adding details on our water and around our sailboat. So I'm going to use I love the Mama brush. I love her because she holds on to a lot of paint. I don't have to reload her that much. You're welcome to use the baby if you like to. So I'm going to start out picking up some white and yellow. We haven't really done much yellow yet. I'm just going to add a couple flecks. So a real subtle little highlights on the water here. Remember, light touch. You don't want to press much of the brush down. Just adding little bits of light. Wherever you think there should be some light and reflection. And you know what? I am going to take some of that color I was just using and create a little wake around my boat. So if this sailboat's coming, it's gonna kind of move the water, right? So I'm just creating some little kind of bubbly foam coming off the side of the boat. And there it looks like it's kind of half submerged in the water like an actual sailboat. Doesn't take much. Okay, so let's do a quick comparison. Example to mine. So I really like how deep and dark the water is over on this side. So I think my final step is going to be to add a little bit more low lights here at the bottom. So, and whatever brush you like, we'll try the baby brush. We'll try the baby brush out. I'm gonna do some white and blue together and just add some little dark bits. Some added drama. And maybe some in here too. Give some depth to my wake. But a lot of this, is more of the feeling than a realistic sailing painting, right? It's kind of the feeling of a dark ocean, the feeling of what a sky would be like, kind of sweeping across, windy and blowing, fun colors down in here. So keep tinkering with it until it is what you like. So upping the contrast, maybe adding more flecks on the ocean, as many clouds as you like. You can even do some seabirds in the sky. But the last step to any painting is to sign it. So gallery standard is the bottom right-hand corner. Initials keep it real simple. And yeah, you have your own masterpiece. Take your time. You don't have to paint as quickly as I do. Please press pause and rewind anytime you need a refresher. And just remember that we're always creating new offerings, so always check out thepaintmixer.com to see our online classes and our in-studio sessions in our studios in Park City and Sugar House. If you are really proud of your painting and would like to share on social media, you can tag us at _paintmixer, and we would love to see your work. So thank you so much for sailing away with me today, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.